Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia here. I'm live with my regular Wednesday morning Facebook Live. This is the first Wednesday of the month, which means that it is also my card class to go. So how a card class to go works is today I'll demonstrate 3 different cards, and then using my host code and placing a $65 order before shipping and taxes, you'll actually receive the make and take kits to make 2 of each of the 3 cards that you see today. So you'll get 6 cards total that you can make if you place that order, $65 order using my host code. Good morning, Gail. So this is kind of a special month for Stampin' Up. October 1st is always the beginning of their new Stampin' Up year, which is an exciting time. And so they have a lot of stuff going on right now for that. We have 2 new kits. One of them is a beautiful like card kit, just with some lovely sceneries and everything, like watercolor sceneries and some lovely sentiments. And the other one, oh man, I just ordered it. Now I'm blanking out on what it was. You can go online though. Apparently I have a really bad memory. You can go online and check that out. So we do have 2 new kits right now. We also have a kit sale going on, and that includes our 2 new kits. So all kits are 30% off, which is just an awesome deal. We have a couple of Christmas kits in there, some Christmas ornaments and stuff like that. So you're going to want to check that out and grab those. Those are on sale for the whole month, but of course they're while supplies last. So if there's something you really want, I'd hop in there and grab it sooner than later. We have World Card Making Day coming up on the weekend. I believe there's still time to register for that. So go to the Stampin' Up website or go to my page, leahdixon.stampinup.net, and check it out, get the details, get the link for that. There's a fun event happening on the 5th with Stampin' Up. And we also have a starter kit deal happening this month. So for $135, no shipping and only your provincial taxes, you can get $206 worth of Stampin' Up products. And then there's some extra advantages to that. It makes you part of my team. You get things like my crafty collaboration tutorial for free. You get my monthly card class to go tutorial for free. And we do team meetings where we card make together, and I post lots of other inspiration on our private Inkpad Pals group. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening in October for Stampin' Up. A ton of stuff. But let's get right into today's cards. And if you have any questions about how a card class to go works later on, just give me a message and I'm happy to explain it and walk you through the process. So our 3 cards for today. I've been doing a lot of Christmas card making, but I recognize that I do have some friends who don't celebrate Christmas. They celebrate Hanukkah. This year, Hanukkah actually starts on Christmas, same day. So it makes my card sending really easy because the timelines match up. So I got to get prepared. Our very first card is a super simple card design, and it's actually inspired by a card that Brian King made. He's a demo in the US that he made using this stamp set when it first came out. I've just changed up some of the DSP and techniques. So in your kit, you'll get all the cardstock you need to make this, as well as a little strip of the bling that we're using on all 3 cards. Well, 2 of the 3 cards. So we're going to start just with gluing some layers together. You'll also get a printed PDF. Oh, now I wanted to see this. I was wondering if the birds would make it too busy. And I actually think that they would. Yeah, it's a little too busy. All right, so as much as I love these birds, we're going to cover them up. And I'm going to just have the striped side show. So I'm gluing this to my white, and then my white to my navy, and then my navy to my balmy blue card base. When you place a qualifying order and get this card kit, you also get the printable PDF emailed to you. And it has all of the instructions, all of the dimensions, and it has a link back to the YouTube version of this video so that you can go back and craft along with me as well. So you don't have to craft alone. Here we go. So I'm going to pop this onto here. And then we're going to put this onto our card front. So far we've used just all glued layers. We don't want to put too much like dimension onto this because then it becomes too thick and not mailable. So there we go. All right. So we've got our base all set up. Now I do also have this piece of basic white that I'm just going to glue inside. It just adds a nice finished touch to our card, having the white layer inside, even though Balmy Blue is light enough to write on. I like doing that. Okay, there we go. All right, so I hope you guys are all doing well. We've got another beautiful day here in BC. A little bit crisp, but gorgeous and sunny out there. All right, our next step, I'm just going to put away my glue for a moment, is to do some of our stamping. So I am using this Celebrate the Miracle stamp set, and your selection of sentiments is pretty much endless here. We even have the 2 different spellings of Hanukkah, so that's really nice that we have those options. So I'm going to start actually by stamping my star though. So I'm going to grab my star, some Night of Navy ink, and we're going to stamp that right up near the top and try and make it centered. There we go. All right, beautiful. So I've got my star stamped, and now I'm going to grab my sentiments and stamp those. Let's see, I need my happy and my Hanukkah. So I actually did the Chanukah spelling for the sample card that I made. So I'm actually going to switch this up and put Hanukkah on here. That way I've got some choices. And so I'm going to ink up the Hanukkah. I'm going to stamp it just a little bit off to the side. I'm not centering it perfectly. And then I'm going to take my little happy and I'm going to stamp that above and kind of move it over to the side so that now as a whole sentiment, it is centered. So that's how I did that. Let's put those off to the side, close up my ink. And then I'm going to grab my Balmy Blue ink and just a small blending brush. Get some ink on there. And then I'm actually purposefully holding very far out on the tip of my brush because I really don't want to apply any pressure as I do this. I don't want to get blotches or lines. So the further out you hold, the lighter your touch is. All right, and I'm going to apply the blue ink. Now, I'm actually not overdoing it, so I can come in and apply a bit more pressure. I can see that now. I just always am hesitant to start too dark. You can't take ink away, but you can always add. And so I'm just going over my star in a nice circle. Make sure you're not missing the center of the circle though, or center of the star. And I'm happy with the amount of blue I've added to that now. It's just super duper subtle. So I really didn't add a ton of color, just a tinge. All right. Now that we've got that done, we're ready to finish putting our card together. So I'm going to take that layer and I'm going to glue it to a Night of Navy layer. And there we go. I like using the liquid glue because then I can wiggle these around if I don't get them on straight. All right, now this layer I am going to pop up. So we're going to flip it over. Hopefully I left myself some dimensionals here. Oh, I don't even have scissors here. I was doing some crafting in front of the TV last night. Trying to get ready for some craft fairs. I'm going to be at the Terry Fox Secondary School Christmas Craft Fair the first weekend of November, and then the Riverside Church Christmas Craft Fair on the third weekend in November. So if you live local to me, mark your calendar. I will be putting up some posts soon. Both events have just gotten me their graphics, so I can put info up on my site about those. So I will post about that, but I will be there live. I'll be selling kits and cards, gift tags, all sorts of stuff. Or if you just want to pop by and say hi, I love to see people. Makes the day go much faster when I can visit and spend time with friends. So pop on by. So yeah. All right. So I've got my dimensionals on the back of this. Peel those off. I don't even have a garbage bin here. Oh my goodness. I really ransacked my desk last night. All right. And then, as best as we can, we are going to center this on our card front. All right, there. And our finishing touch is to add some iridescent faceted gems to this. I love these gems so much. They are such a beautiful color, and they kind of take on the yellows, pinks, blues, and purples of whatever you place them on. They're just, yeah, they're really lovely that way. So let's see. I did use another large one. All right, there we go. And a little one. So they come in two sizes, so small and large. And so I've just put a little assortment of them on there. And that finishes up our first card. So actually, I just realized I never showed you the card before we even started. So there we go. So you'll end up with two of this card in your kit. And the paper, I meant to show you that as well. The paper is actually from our Countryside Inn Designer Series paper. Oh, hi, Lila. A busy morning with grandchildren. Oh, that's so lovely. That's awesome. I am actually being really quick this morning. We're only 13 minutes in. I've already finished one card, but I'm just showing the Countryside Inn DSP. I just used the striped one there, but I actually thought that, even some of these like foxes with the leaves and the bunnies and stuff might make a really nice Hanukkah card. I kept mine super simple though with the stripes for this one. So that is the paper that I used. Now, if you wanted to decorate the inside of your card and decorate your envelope, we could do that as well. I'm just going to do a simple little stamp here on the back. There's this sweet little 3-star symbol, and so I'm going to kind of do it like what do they call them? Like a seal, except I'm going to keep it above my fold line. So just doing those 3 little stars on the back, just as a little something to decorate my envelope. All right, so that's our first card done. This time around, I will show you the card before I start creating. Sorry about that last time. Let's put those out of the way. So our second card is kind of less traditional colors, but features the menorah. And so I'm going to show you guys how I created this one. I'll just bring it in a little bit closer so you can see, but all the fun, colorful cards. So I thought this was actually kind of a nice one for kids as well. The blue and silver is beautiful, but a little bit grown up. And so this is just a little bit more playful. So for this one, I've used, and you'll get in your kit, a pre-cut deckled rectangle. And so it's just a piece of basic white, and it's got that decal edge on it, which I just think adds a little bit of interest. And so we're doing all of our stamping on this piece. I'm going to put our card base off to the side for right now. So to do this one, we are going to start by stamping the base of the menorah. So I'm using Balmy Blue ink here. And this is basically for our candlestick here. So down fairly low, not too low, and then centered side to side. I'm going to stamp that. All right, beautiful. And now I'm going to put away my Balmy Blue for a moment, and I'm going to get out my Brights markers. So you've got this awesome little candle, and you can actually stamp all the candles at once if you wanted to. But because I'm making mine colorful, I'm actually going to be stamping them kind of like 2 at a time. I would love to be able to color them all and stamp them, but I find that as the marker sits on here, it starts to kind of like separate, and then you end up just with these kind of blotchy, weird candles. So if you just do 2 at a time, like do both pinks and stamp them, then clean it up and do both greens, both oranges, both Coastal Cabanas, then it works quite well. So what you want to remember is that you're kind of mirror imaging when you're coloring. So I'm going to color my first and my second after the middle. And I've colored those with my markers. Now I'm going to come in and line them all up and stamp those two. All right. Oops, I got a little extra ink over there. That's too bad. Well, we'll be able to cover that up. So now I have to clean my my candles. So you're going to use your cleaner a lot today. And then I'm going to come in with my next two. So I'm going to do pumpkin pie here and pumpkin pie closest to the center candle. And then again, we're going to come in, we're going to line these up and stamp. Yeah, and clean. So it's a lot of back and forth, stamp, clean, stamp, clean. Now, if you were making more than one of these at once, of course, you could stamp both your oranges before you clean and move on to the next color. All right, now my green. So my green will be my closest and my second farthest. All right. There we go. And again, we come in, line it all up, and stamp. There we go. And now our last one is our Coastal Cabana. Now, I cannot find my Coastal Cabana marker anywhere. So we might have to use ink. I'm just going to do a quick scan again on my desk and see, because it should be here somewhere. And then I wanted to show you as well, actually I'll double check that I didn't get back in here, is I actually store my markers in a stamp case. So it's kind of a handy way to keep all of your colors together. Now mine are still labeled with older colors that have retired, but I do actually have the proper new ones in here. Oh wait, is that it? Let's see. Oh yay. Good. There's my Coastal Cabana. It didn't make it back into the case. It just got beside the case. Kind of silly. All right. So now we're working backwards. So I want the first one, the center one, and then the second one. All right. Well, this seems really light. Hopefully this works. Exceptionally light color in this marker. All right. And stamp those. Oh, yay. There we go. All right. So that is our stamping of our candles. Oh, hi, Eastern girls. Just learning how to make cards and die cut and stamps. Oh, awesome. Well, welcome. I do a live video every Wednesday, and I just kind of demo how to make cards. Some of them are simple, some of them are more complicated. Today, I'm just using a neat trick where we actually use our markers to ink up our stamps. I do find this works best for small images. Larger images, the ink doesn't stick as well as an ink pad does. But there we go. So now we've got our candles all stamped, and they're all in different fun colors. Now, our next step is to actually stamp our flames on here. And again, they've made this so easy because just like the candles were all in a row, they've got our flames all in a row. So we don't have to line these all up one by one. What we are going to do though is heat emboss these with gold. So because we've put ink on here already, I want to be extra careful to use my embossing buddy. If you don't have an embossing buddy, some cornstarch, just rubbed across it and wiped off. Or I've heard dryer sheets, but I've never personally done that. I don't own dryer sheets. But I know when I was a little girl, before embossing buddies existed, we would use cornstarch. So you just kind of wipe it over and then wipe it off, and it just takes away any oils that might be on your page. Now I'm going to get my Versamark ink and ink up all of my flames all at once. And then I'm going to come in here and line them all up and then press down. And now you guys can't see that because Versamark is a clear ink. So I'm going to just grab a scrap piece of paper. Normally I would use my tray, but my tray is filled. I've got two. I've got one filled with silver, one filled with white embossing powder. And today I'm going to use my gold. So I'm just going to come in here, pour some gold across there. Tap that off. And then before I get out my heat tool, because it does, you know, it's like a little super hot hair dryer, so I don't need powder blowing all over the place. I'm just going to pour that back into my jar. So if you don't have a tray, that is the fastest, easiest way to do it. I will just show you guys my trays. They're super handy, so I just have my white powder in my tray, so you can run it through there and then tap it off to the side and you're good to go. I really should get another kit, so I have another tray. So now I've got my gold on here. I'm going to get my heat tool and melt this basically. There we go. Oh, it just popped back. There we go. Sorry, guys. Didn't zoom in on my desktop. So there we go. I've got the gold all embossed, and there I got the shine on there. So you can see in person, it's really quite shiny and beautiful. So I didn't lift my paper off my surface because I'm using the Stampin' Up! Glass Mat, and this is heat resistant. But if you're using something that might warp or be of a material that's a bit more sensitive to heat, I maybe wouldn't hold it, keep it right on your table. I might hold it up in the air away from your surface so that you don't overheat your surface. All right, so now we've got our menorah done. Now we get to do the fun, easy part of our sentiment. So I've got the word Hanukkah. Now I do wonder, the last time I switched it up so that I'd have one of each, Hanukkah and Chanukah. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these out. My original there has Hanukkah on it, so I'm going to put the Chanukah onto my block. All right, and then I'm going to use Balmy Blue ink. And I am going to stamp this centered. So we're going to come in here, center that above the menorah. And just like that, And then I'm going to get that little itty bitty happy that we used before. Now I'm going to clean it because we used it with Night of Navy previously. So give that a little clean. I come in here, ink it up with Balmy Blue, and then I want to keep it nice and in line, so I'm stamping it in the space between the two H's. And I did that on my original. I stamped it between the H and the K. Okay, or actually, I guess, yeah, the H and the K again. So there we go. Just keeping that all centered. So with that done, I'm going to close my ink. And this is going to get attached with dimensionals as well. So here we go. Pop that down. All right. So here in Canada, we're also getting ready for Thanksgiving. Not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. So it's a busy month. We've got World Card Making Day this weekend, Thanksgiving the following weekend. Then I have a visit with my parents the weekend after that, and a stamp camp. And then we finish up with Halloween. So a little bit craziness going on this month, but it's all fun. So that's good. We're finally settled into our school routines, so life is chugging along. All right, so that's attached, and now we're going to grab those gorgeous iridescent faceted gems again and throw some of those onto our card. So just one there, and one there. So I like to kind of make triangles when I put my embellishments on. Kind of helps keep the card feel balanced. All right, and that is our second card completed. So that's 4 of the 6 cards that you'll get in your Make and Take pack if you place an order with me. Oh, hi, Kim. Yeah, watch whenever you want. This kit's available. I've got the card class to go running for a full week. I won't cut till next Wednesday on my next day off. Bathroom renovations. Oh, well, I hope you're not like us. I hope you guys have more than one bathroom in your house, because bathroom renovations are a nightmare otherwise. Good luck with that. Okay. And now our third card. This one was fun to make. It was interesting challenge for me to figure out how to get the little gold highlights without having full gold images across here. So I've got some fun techniques to show you for just adding a hint of gold to some cards. Obviously the gold coins I did fully gold, but the rest is just a hint of gold on here. So there's not too much in terms of materials for this one. We're going to do most of our work on this piece of Balmy Blue. And I'm actually going to take this apart and show you how I created this layout. So I actually took my stamps, not on a block, even though they are currently on a block. I took my stamps and laid them out on my cardstock where I wanted them. And where are my coins? So I actually got all of my images, decided how I wanted them. Oh, see, and this is why you do this, because my star's not going to fit, so I've got to move everything over a bit. There we go. Now my star's going to fit. So I've got all of my images on my paper, and then I've grabbed a bigger block, a block that will pick all of these up, and I'm putting it down on top of my images. Now when I lift, all of my images are where I want them on my block, except that I'm going to remove my coins because I'm not going to stamp them in Night of Navy ink. I'm only going to stamp them with gold. Now that I've got those in place, I am going to get my Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to ink up all 3 images left on my block. Make sure they get inked up really nicely, especially this star because it's quite a solid image. So this is where, if you have a Stamparatus or something, that also really works well, because then you can ink these more than once and get an even more solid image. So I'm just having to make sure to really ink well before we start. All right, those look very well inked. So I'm going to now place these centered side to side, top to bottom. And there we go. We've got those stamped. Super happy. All right, now I'm going to clean these 3 images because I actually need my dreidel image again. So there's my cleaner. So I'm going to grab my chamois and clean these up. Now, if you're making a bunch of these cards, I would stamp all of them like in the blue as many times as you think is necessary. So now I am actually going to remove my star and my menorah. Put them back in my case because I just need the dreidel for this next part. Okay. So I want to get my dreidel ready, my coins ready. Oh, I should clean up these stars. I need those as well. So I'm going to get all my pieces ready for this next part. So I need the small star, the dreidel, the coins, and I also need to have some Wink of Stella on hand. Okay, so I have my 4 pieces ready to go. This is where I'm going to add the gold to this image. So first things first, I don't want any gold sticking to my blue. So I'm going to come in again with my embossing buddy. This is part of the embossing additions kit. You get the embossing buddy, reverse tweezers, a paintbrush, and a tray all in that kit. So I came in with my embossing buddy, got rid of any stickiness that might be left on that blue. So my embossing powder is not going to stick to my blue. And now I'm going to start stamping bits onto here. So I'm going to start with my dreidel. I am going to ink up just the handle, the part that you would hold to spin your dreidel. I am inking up just that with Versamark. And then I'm coming in, lining this up over top of my image and stamping down so that my Versamark goes just onto the handle of my dreidel. Now I'm going to ink up my coins with a Versamark and stamp them between those 2 images. And then I'm going to ink up just 1 star on that trio of stars and stamp it in the middle of this star. And then I'm going to get my Wink of Stella and ink up just the flames on my menorah. And you want to do the flames last. Just the flames on my menorah with my Wink of Stella. Then I'm going to put this all onto a scrap piece of paper like I did before. I am going to pour my gold powder across that and then tap it off. Now, if you think you're going to be a little bit slow on some of these things, you might want to do one, emboss it, do the next one, emboss it. But I was pretty confident that I could come in here and get that all done. So now, before I put away my gold, though, I'm going to just get, you can use either a paintbrush or, oh, I don't have a take your pick tool here. All right, you can use your take your pick tool, or I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife. And I'm just going to go between my flames to make sure that my embossing powder stuck in a way that I actually have like separate flames. And if I got that little dot on the star, I'll remove that as well. So anywhere where you've removed the ink, or not the ink, the embossing powder, it's now not going to, like, it won't turn gold, right? So any spots that you've got gold that you don't want them in, you just have to remove it before you heat it. All right, so now that I've got that all cleaned up, I have gold only where I want it. I'll just show you guys. I'll actually pull these into the frame because this might get a little warm. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. So you squeeze them to open them and then let go, and they clamp onto whatever you're holding. And so I got that, so now I can hold it in place. And okay. So there we go. Now we have all of our gold highlights on there. It's so beautiful. Love that. All right, so that was a little bit of work, but it's well worth it. All right, now before we glue this down, I am actually going to get my Versamark one more time, and that single star one more time. And we're going to ink it up, and I'm going to just stamp some additional little stars around on the background of our paper. Now I am making sure to always keep the point of my star up. If you don't care, you can kind of stamp it randomly so that it's always a different shape. But I really wanted my star to always be pointing in the same direction. All right, so we'll do a few more of these. Just adding a little bit of interest to our background instead of having a solid blank piece of paper. Okay. And then yeah, you can do as many or as few of these as you would like. Just a few more. And then be mindful that the Versamark ink doesn't dry right away. So you don't want to smudge your hand across it or something. Okay, I think that's, I'll do one more. One more right there. Okay, so actually I'm going to do one more. Right. All right, there we go. So that is just kind of a little bit of interest in the background on our paper. So now this is going to get glued to a Night of Navy piece and then to our card front. So I'm going to do that. Now, so that I don't rub my hands across my Versamark and smear it, what I am going to do is once I get this lined up how I like it, and I'm not worried that the one edge is a little bit longer, I can fix that up easily once we get this attached to our card. Right now, I'm just more concerned about having it straight. And then I'm going to put it upside down and I'm going to rub the back. This is what you can do anytime you're worried about smearing something or catching your finger on something, is put it upside down so that you have a smooth surface to rub. All right, now I am going to put more glue on the back of this and attach it to our card front. Now I am making sure that I'm lining everything up on my left-hand side, because that way, if it doesn't all perfectly line up, I can go ahead and trim the right-hand side, which is our open edge, not our folded edge. We won't be able to trim our folded edge without ruining the card. So there we go. And now you can see my blue sticks out, my navy sticks out a little bit further than my balmy blue and a little bit further than my card front. So I'm just going to take this over to my trimmer and chop that edge off. So it's just a tiny sliver that we're pulling off of here. we go. All right, so now that we've got all of our layers glued together, I'm going to get my sentiments and we're going to stamp them in Night of Navy. So first things first is our little stars. We're going to ink those up in Night of Navy. Now to do these, I actually like to start in the middle. And then you'll see that there's that little dot. You can use that to line it up to stamp the next one and the next one. And then go the other way and just make sure the dot stays in the fold. There we go. And there we go. All right, so we've got our little stripe of stars done. And now I'm going to grab my sentiment. So this is all one, Celebrate the Miracle. I'm going to ink that up in Night of Navy. And center it on the top. And there we go. We've got that stamped. And that is our third card completed. Oh, thank you, Gail. Yeah, I really am enjoying this Celebrate the Miracle stamp set. Stampin' Up! Really worked with a team of demonstrators to kind of perfect this this stamp set, get the exact right sentiments and images, and they've done a really nice job with it. So this is an online exclusive, so it's not in our catalog. There's our 3 cards. So you get 2 of each of these in your card kit. And the link for ordering is right in the description of this video, or you can just contact me directly if you need a little bit more support with placing an order if you're new to Stampin' Up, or just have some questions about other things you might want, kits that are recommended and stuff like that. I'm happy to chat with you about that. Oh, thank you, Eastern Girls. So that is my card kit to go for this week. Well, this month. I do one just the first week of each month. Now, I did create with this stamp set last year when it first became available. I use different DSP and stuff like that, but you can also go to my blog, stampinwithleah.ca, and use the search function to look up Hanukkah or Celebrate the Miracle, and you'll be able to find the replay and images and stuff of those. So then you'll have a really big selection of cards that you can make using this stamp set. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week just with kind of a solo card. Next week's my long week with parent-teacher interviews and all of that stuff. So I'll just be popping on Wednesday morning to make one quick card with you guys and to remind you that next Wednesday is the cutoff for placing an order to get this card class to go. But I'm available anytime if you want to send me a direct message, and I'm happy to answer your questions, help you with orders, anything like that. And if you're interested in knowing more about joining my InkPad Pals team, do contact me. The sale for the starter kit runs from now till October 31st. And it is a fantastic deal, and we'd love to have you join our stamping community. So I think that's it. I'm off to go keep prepping card kits for my upcoming stamp camp, and I've got a few other things in the works that hopefully I'll be able to advertise to you guys before the end of October, some upcoming events. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget to join us for World Card Making Day on Saturday. And it's not super advertised, but World Card Making or Card Sending Day on the day after, because we can't just make those cards. We got to send them too. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.